And the madness continues, everyone. How's it going, guys? I'm here with your NCAA basketball Week 6 predictions. Wow, the season's already been kind of crazy. We're coming off a wild weekend, as I talked about from the bracketology update. If you haven't seen it yet, go check it out. I break down the latest ESPN bracketology update. Got some intriguing matchups this upcoming week of Week 6 from December 14th through 20th. Of course, I predict the bigger games. Give my quick analysis. We're going to do a Week 5 recap probably tomorrow or whatnot. And I need to get to my college football bowl game predictions. Yes, I will be doing a video on that too. The PowerPoint's pretty much about complete. I just need to kind of finalize the small details of it just to make sure that I'm good to go with that. That video might be recorded probably closer to this week, and we'll see. But without further ado, let's get to some of the picks. First off, we have tonight, tipping off in just under an hour. We have Memphis hosting number 6 Alabama in Memphis, Tennessee. Memphis is down to 5-4. This team looks like a disaster. What is happening in Memphis? Literally. Penny Hardaway can recruit like a Final Four coach, yet the roster's not putting it together. What is seriously happening? Like, they can't play defense. They can't even freaking score now. Both sides of the ball are struggling. They really are. Number 6 Alabama, on the other hand, they're playing tremendous basketball. They're up to 8-1. They've had some quality wins already this year against Houston, Gonzaga. I mean, Alabama's off to a really hot start. They look like one of the best teams in the nation right now. Could they be among the best offenses? Absolutely. They shoot the three really well. They utilize the lane. Shackelford, Ellis. I mean, all those guys are just, or should I say Davis, my bad. Quinterly, they're all playing such great basketball. Fast defense. Houston was matching Alabama's speed, but Alabama found a way to get out of it. Alabama really locked in and focused. Alabama's one of the more focused teams in the nation as well. And, if Memphis was doing better, I would possibly take an upset here, but Alabama, to me, is just the better team right now. Memphis has no sense of direction. They're not looking great. They're 5-4. Them being hyped up like that was so unnecessary. It's like this team just was, it's like it was forgotten about at this point. So, not much else to say there. I think Alabama rolls on by double digits in this game. Skipping to Friday, December 17th, a basketball Hall of Fame shootout game with Virginia Tech St. Bonaventure. Yeah, both teams, I think, are kind of similar. Both teams boasting some stronger defense. St. Bonaventure does have some good shooters, although they do go into points where they don't score. Virginia Tech, another team that it's a little hard to figure out. It's tough with this team. I don't know really. I don't know too much about Virginia Tech, but St. Bonaventure, I know they got playmakers. They could shoot the three well when needed. It's a toss-up. I'll go Virginia Tech. I was originally going to go with St. Bonaventure, but you can go either way. I see this being a lower-scoring game, a lot of defense. I think the team with the least amount of turnovers wins this game. I mean, that sounds more simple, but still, I think that's kind of my note on that one. Now, another basketball Hall of Fame shootout. This is North Carolina State and Richmond. I'll be honest, NC State can put up some points. Darian Sebron really leading that group with the scoring catalog. Definitely like how he's able to really bring this team some life. NC State, of course, had that 4 overtime game. Then they lost against Nebraska, and then they lost to Louisville. Then they almost beat Purdue. NC State was pushing Purdue's buttons. So NC State could be a fast up-and-down team. Richmond, they barely lost to Maryland. I don't think they could even beat I think they beat Mississippi State. Yeah, they did. But I'm not the biggest fan of Richmond. I like NC State better right now. Not much to say here. I'm not really, again, I don't know too much with Richmond right now, what's going on with them, although I will say that I'm not too high up on them. NC State, it's 7-3. I think NC State could sneak into the tournament this year. We'll see how it goes. All right, here we go. There's a Big East matchup here. Creighton versus number 9 Villanova. Creighton's 8-2 right now. They just barely lost to Iowa State, but Creighton's been playing all right. You got Hawkins, Ryan Nembhard leading the way along with Kalkbrenner. Creighton is, they're not the best team, but they're not the worst. I think they're going to be like middle of the road in the Big East this year, maybe above average at best. Villanova, I mean, oh gosh, Villanova just took it on the chin of Baylor. They're down to 7-3. They lost to Baylor 57-36. They couldn't even get any separation from Baylor's defense. Baylor's defense was all over Villanova. I mean, Villanova couldn't even open up anything. And Villanova can be a fast team. I mean, Gillespie can really move around a lot, mix the floor up. But Justin Moore and Gillespie had no freaking room, nothing to really go on with. I think they're going to be mad about that loss. I think they will get back on track here against Creighton. Villanova can't play some defense, but one thing I've liked about Villanova over the years is that they're a versatile team. They have a lot of great capabilities, and of course, Jay Wright being the coach that he is, that's why Villanova's been one of the best teams over the last several years. Interesting game here with the Crossroads Classic coming to Indianapolis this Saturday. The first of the two games will be Purdue versus number 3 Purdue versus Butler. Wow, I'll be honest with you guys, Purdue really disappointing after being ranked number 1. I mean, it seems like when Purdue gets the pressure thrown on them, they end up struggling a lot. I've seen this happen last year too. Now, of course, they're pretty much the same team from last year, and they still have the same kind of problem. Purdue has probably the best offense in the country, but, at the same time, when the pressure gets going, it's like the mental aspect of it just gets tough. I don't know what it is. Butler's a defensive team. They don't score a whole lot of points, and that's why I'm taking Purdue. I like Purdue's offense here more than anything. Travion Williams is a huge difference maker. Well, I mean, with Purdue, though, you have a lot of guys on the court who can make a difference. It ain't just a one-way team. It's just, I don't know why Purdue lost it. Purdue losing to Rutgers was a little alarming. Rutgers was shorthanded. I mean, they're 9-1. I mean, then they almost lost to NC State. That would have been really pretty bad if they lost to NC State. But, I mean, Butler beat Oklahoma. But, I mean, I'm still not completely buying Butler. They're 7-2. We'll see. Could this game be close? Not so sure. I think Purdue's not too pleased with how things have been going for them lately. They gotta figure out a way of how to not let the pressure get to them. Iowa almost beat them. They're gonna have to get things under control. They can't be getting too anxious with the game or whatever. Here we got a game here. We just gotta predict another Memphis game here. Nashville, Tennessee, where Memphis is gonna take on 18-ranked Tennessee. Tennessee 7-2. They lost a migraine of a game at Texas Tech. I'll tell you what, I thought that game was never going to end. Tennessee's offense was so bad in that game. I mean, Texas Tech's defense was doing their job. I mean, oh my gosh, Tennessee had open looks in the game, and they still missed. I mean, you're kidding me. Like 6-40 from the 3? That's atrocious. That's garbage. I mean, what in the world was Tennessee doing? I mean, I don't understand. But a lot of the time, though, when Tennessee also got to the rim, they were defended pretty well by Texas Tech. So, yeah, it was just one of those tough situations for Tennessee. But, yeah, I got to take them to get back on track here against Memphis. Again, Memphis, if they start showing me something, then I'll probably start picking them more. But right now, Memphis is just not the team that, that we were expecting them to be. But I see Tennessee's offense getting back on track. Tennessee can play some, I think, in my opinion, if Tennessee's offense gets going, they actually have I think they have a pretty decent offense, to be honest with you guys. But, yeah, Tennessee's had offensive issues this year for sure. Of course, that game is North Carolina. They walloped North Carolina. Here's a very intense game here. I can see this being very physical. We've got the Jerry Colangelo Classic in Phoenix, Arizona, with number 25 Texas Tech taking on number 5 Gonzaga. Texas Tech is 7-1. I'm surprised a little bit of how Texas Tech's doing this year. They still got their defensive roots from when Chris Beard, of course, was still there. And then they got some guys, some playmakers like Terrence Shannon Jr., Kevin McCullough. I do like Texas Tech. They get pretty big on the inside, and then they chase you down. They don't give you much room. They will disrupt transitions. They do that very well. They're probably one of the better teams in the country at disrupting the offensive transitioning to the basket. Because Tennessee, every time they passed the ball around, Texas Tech was right there to try and intercept it. Gonzaga's 8-2. Gonzaga, I'll tell you what, Gonzaga's defensive rhythm's off. They got to get back on track with that. And it seems like with Gonzaga, once the inside game gets taken away, they just start forcing these errant shots that just aren't making much sense to me. Like, a lot of the offense, too, is ran through Drew Timme. He, gets on the inside, then he gets that quick layup. Well, it's like they try to get even more, just try to force it even more with, I don't know. I mean, I like to try to get something going, but it's like Gonzaga can't even quite move in around the inside. Like, Alabama was just stocking in on the inside when I saw them play against Alabama, too. It was just kind of weird. It's like when Gonzaga's offense doesn't have their thing going, like the whole entire thing is thrown off. They can't quite adjust back to the roots. It's weird. Gonzaga has a strange thing of kind of just going way off track and staying way off track. Texas Tech City of Gonzaga, a lot of problems. I see Gonzaga possibly losing this game. They're going to force fouls. It's going to be, I think fouls is going to be a common theme in this game. That especially with teams like Duke and Alabama, they're fouling, making Gonzaga foul every 5 seconds. The big guys especially. But I have to trust Gonzaga getting back on track. It's a little risky because Texas Tech does have the capability of beating Gonzaga, in my opinion. I just think Gonzaga has more playmakers. Andrew Nembhard, Anton Watson. They got, of course, Chet Holmgren. I do like Gonzaga better than Texas Tech when it comes to offensive production, but Texas Tech has scored too. Let's not forget that. They've been scoring some points in some of these games too, but by the way, this is an Elite 8 rematch from 2019. I did watch that game, and Texas Tech was really damn good in that game. They've shut down Gonzaga, so we'll see what happens here. Good one coming up on Saturday afternoon, early afternoon. Next Crossroads Classic game, the second and final one, we got Notre Dame basically taking on Indiana, or IU. Notre Dame's 4-4. They managed to pull off the upset against Kentucky. I don't know how Notre Dame did it. They actually out-rebounded Kentucky. We'll get to Kentucky here in a little bit. I'm not very pleased with them right now. But, lost the phone call with my best friend because I told him I was going to have him take him off speaker real quick. But, so basically, though, yeah, Notre Dame pulled off the upset against Kentucky back on Saturday. Just made scrappy play. That's what was the difference. Notre Dame made a lot of scrappy play. It seemed like from looking at stats and whatnot. Nothing too impressive.
Hang on. Give me a second.
All right, I'm still recording. Just want to let you know that. So Indiana 8-2. Indiana getting back on track, of course, after blowing a huge lead to Wisconsin. I don't know what happened there. They should have never lost that game. Indiana blew a huge lead, and Indiana has a pretty tight defense. They are supposed to have this real tightened down defense, but Wisconsin found an opening. I don't know what freaking happened there against Wisconsin, but IU needs to snap out of that. They can't be doing that. I mean, we were talking about turning over the ball too much. Now we're talking about blowing leads. IU has to cut it out. They do. Like I said, it's early in the season. I do like this IU team. I think IU is capable of producing some damage in the March Madness tournament, or doing damage, I should say. Mike Woods is going to get this team there. A lot of people are probably not counting it. I'm sure some people are still counting on IU just because of the past, but listen, Mike Woods is the real deal. Well, Mike Woodson, I think, is the real deal. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm going to take IU. I don't know how Notre Dame's going to beat IU because IU plays very physical. Miller Kopp, Trace Jackson-Davis, Race Thompson, crashing the glass, really effective at scoring. IU's got a good machine gun with themselves. Here's a huge game. I think this is a bigger game than some people think, to be honest with you guys. CBS Sports Classic, it's a good one in Las Vegas. We have the North Carolina Tar Heels taking on number 4 UCLA. North Carolina 7-2. After the loss against Tennessee, North Carolina's been on a warpath lately. They've been blowing teams out left and right, Michigan included. North Carolina really playing better and better. Hubert Davis has his team starting to manifest a bit. You got Armando Bacot really playing the big man position. Caleb Love really executing a guard. Definitely going to be more impressed with North Carolina as of late. So we'll see where this goes. UCLA 8-1. UCLA playing tough defense, especially against Marquette. They kind of shut Marquette down. They also beat, I can't think of the name. I've been having quite a lot happen the last few past few days. I've been kind of mentally out of it because of the tornado outbreak Friday night. Yeah, that was bad. But basically, though, North Carolina, UCLA, both teams really good at rebounding. UCLA really shows you that they have so many offensive weapons. They have Johnny Juzang, Jamie Yaquez, Tyler Campbell. UCLA is a loaded team, but North Carolina is up and coming, and I think this could be a really tight game from start to finish. North Carolina can play fast, and they can rebound well. I'm going to take a shot. This is going to be my upset pick of the week. I know it's a little risky, but you know what? You have a lot of these top 25 teams that have just been dropping games lately. UCLA could. If they drop this game, it's not a bad loss in my opinion. North Carolina is honestly a good team, and it can happen. Like I said, a lot of top 25 teams have been dropping some games lately, so I wouldn't be shocked if UCLA lost this game. North Carolina can definitely attack the glass. This is going to be a physical game. Probably going to be a mid to high scoring game in my opinion. Both teams can put up a lot of points. One thing I'm concerned about North Carolina, they do let some teams score, but North Carolina's been tightening things down, so I think North Carolina can pull it out. It's number 16 Seton Hall versus Iona, the Gotham Classic in New York on Saturday at 3 p.m. Seton Hall is really impressing me. Really surprised by how great this team's playing. Alexis Yetna, among the players really leading this team. Seton Hall's physical. They play some physical defense and crash the glass. They're unselfish. Seton Hall just plays a great round of balanced basketball, especially on the defensive end. Iona, remember, they knocked off Alabama. So, Iona is capable of beating some bigger teams potentially. Iona plays some defense. They're more on the balanced side too. But I'll tell you what, I like Seton Hall. They've been playing really good. They're proving to me something. They beat Texas. They've beaten some quality. They've beaten some good teams this year. They have. We'll see what happens. They beat Rutgers by 14, by the way, too. But Rutgers, I think, was still shorthanded them. But still, Seton Hall stringing together some quality wins. Here's a very interesting Big East matchup. We got number 22 Xavier versus Marquette. Another game I think is probably going to be a defensive game. I think this is going to be probably a 60 point, 70, maybe low 70s point game. Xavier's 9-1. They absolutely ripped through Cincinnati by 20 points. Xavier's impressing me this year. They've one of the things I like what Xavier does. They just play tough. They play tough defense. They don't give you much room. They're up in your face. They could get into some foul trouble. I remember watching that, especially with Ohio State. Of course, trying to contain Liddell on the inside. But Xavier, especially with Paul Scruggs and Jack Nunge, they can make some plays. When Scruggs has the ball, he can make almost anything happen. The way he drives to the basket's incredible. Nunge at 100%, a really good player, really good big in there. Xavier is a team that just plays physical, downright. It's like getting down on the hands and knees, just working hard at it. They're just a scratch and claw type of team, in my opinion. Marquette has struggled to score a little bit lately. Marquette also struggles to stop teams from scoring a little bit too. I don't know what to make of Marquette. I think they're a little bit above average in my opinion, but they're also kind of, I don't know what to say. I'm a little, it's more like I'm being kind of weary. Marquette could make the tournament. They're not going to be a real high seed, though. They did beat Illinois. They didn't have Coper in the game, though. Marquette struggled to even get anything going against St. Bonaventure. It's like with these defenses, Marquette just struggles to get anything going. Now, I'm going to take Xavier because I just think Xavier's going to make Marquette struggle. Could Marquette win? Sure. But we'll see what happens. Here's a big East game here. We got number 20 Uconn versus Providence. Uconn 9-2. Uconn, are we going to get Sonogo back? I don't know. If Sonogo's not back, I can't switch my pick at this point. But if Sonogo's healthy, I think Uconn's going to win. Might win by double digits. This is going to be a tough. I don't know because I'll tell you what. When Sonogo's in the lineup, Uconn's one of the more dangerous teams in my opinion because Uconn can really utilize that size I wouldn't say they put up flashy stats, but they're just a downright fast and like a hustling kind of team. They hustle at the ball. They keep their eye on the ball. They're not even distracted by anything else. I like how they attack. Providence, not the most offensive, not the greatest offense in my opinion, but Providence does play that defense. Ed Cooley's got this team off to a good start. But listen, Uconn when healthy, I think they're better than Providence. I like Providence, but Uconn's better than them when they're healthy. You got RJ Cole, Tyler Polley. I like Uconn here. Providence will make it close. Providence does play big on the inside, especially. But I think Uconn, with the way they're able to mix up the floor and Sanogo's presence, I think it's just too much. Huge game here, CBS Sports Classic. The other one, we got number 21 Kentucky versus number 15 Ohio State. Ooh, Kentucky. We got some problems, Kentucky. You're meaning to tell me you could not get over 30 rebounds against Notre Dame? How many rebounds a game is Oscar Tshiebwe average? Probably like 15, 16 maybe. I don't know what the official stat is. I should have looked it up. Kentucky lost 66-62 against Notre Dame. Oscar Tshiebwe, only 9 rebounds. 9 rebounds is like a normal stat, usually around average for a big man. Around 9-10. Tshiebwe's been averaging like 16, 17 or whatever the hell the number is. Kentucky only had 28 rebounds. That's so uncharacteristical of them. Why aren't the other guys getting involved in crashing the glass? Kentucky needs to get some guys into that room. It can't just be Tshiebwe doing it. Kentucky's supporting cast, I just feel like still Kentucky's slightly underdeveloped, but I think they're going to work around the edges. They have such a tough SEC conference schedule coming up. LSU's starting to come about. Freaking Arkansas just got toasted, so I don't know what to make of them right now. Alabama, I mean, what else is new? Tennessee, Florida. Well, Florida stinks right now. But Ohio State are really wrapping things up right now. 8-2. Ohio State's starting to really kick things back into high gear. They're figuring it out. What they're doing is they're trying to fill those missing, like filling in the pieces, of course, with Dwayne Washington Jr. and Caleb. Can't even think of his damn name. But C.J. Walker, I think that's what his name was, filling in those voids, trying to figure out how to fill this team, get this team back, like trying to figure out what is like the true identity of the Buckeyes. And I think they're figuring it out right now with filling in those roles. I mean, you got Young out there, Kyle Young. Ohio State, I think, is finally getting things back on track to where they wanted it to be all along. You know what? I have to pick Ohio State because I didn't like the way Kentucky just played against Notre Dame. That's just not good. If they played against Ohio State, they're so not winning because Liddell is like a do-it-all forward. He can shoot the ball, he can defend, he can block. You got all the other Ohio State guys who could be on the defensive end and grab that ball too. It can't just be Tshiebwe. You have to have somebody else. That's a weakness of Kentucky's, in my opinion. I think Kentucky can make it close. I think they'll play a little better, but I think Ohio State wins. Oh, jeez. Let's go to Oregon. Oh, Lord. Oregon's going to host number 1 Baylor. Oregon's 5-5. You know, Oregon's absolute BS. I mean, this team can't even freaking score. They can't defend. They just lost to who? Stanford and Arizona State, 2 teams that are not even that good? Oh, give me a damn break. Baylor number 1, they're 9-0. They're continuing their path of destruction that they continued from last year or from this past season when they won the NCAA title or NCAA tournament. Their backcourt defense especially is just, their defense all around is just amazing. The way they're able to just lock things down, I don't know how they do it. You know, like Scott Drew has really got this team just on another level. I don't know how he's done it. It's incredible because Baylor's just continuing they're just like picking up where they left off. Like I talked about before, though, they're going to be on that championship hangover. They're not going to have as much pressure on them this time, so you don't know. It's rare for a defending champion to get another big run in them in the following March Madness tournament. But I like Baylor here. Baylor is going to suffocate Oregon. R.I.P. Oregon, you're not winning this game. Oh my gosh. Alright, this might be the final game I think on here that I'm predicting. Number 16, Seton Hall versus St. John's. Title was Seton Hall, gritty defense. St. John's can shoot the ball very well. They're known for shooting the ball well, and they're known for steals. Of course, Julian Champagnie, kind of the big guy on the court, the big guard, really great, just doing a lot of good things, and of course scoring a lot of points, beating that just the machine. Basically, kind of going with the offense. Pretty much goes through him. He averages like 21 a game. But I have to take Seton Hall because Seton Hall, I don't know. This could be an upset. I could see St. John's winning. This could be a close game. I think it can go either way, but we'll see. St. John's steal the quick hands, make it that going again, get that involved, maybe kind of throw Seton Hall off. But we'll see. Some interesting games will coming up. But that was your Week 6 picks, everyone. Thank you guys for tuning in. Again, I got my college football bowl game picks. Probably that video is going to probably be recorded this Friday, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, I'll have my Week 5 recap video tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow, and I'll see you guys then. Goodbye.